What is going on, everybody? My name is ChadderMan, and in today's video, guys, I'm going to be talking to you a little bit about the new DLC, Ascendance, Map Pack Turb, on the zombie side. So in my first video I did actually talk to you guys a little bit about the multiplayer, and I only described a little bit about the zombies. I didn't really talk in great detail about the zombies, and right now, guys, I'm going to be talking to you guys a little bit about the actual zombies. So first things first, we all know it's going to be released on the 31st of March. There is actually going to be two modes, guys, which is absolutely awesome. So the first mode is called Infection, which is actually the map of the actual first mode, and then the second mode is called Civilian Extraction mode. So we'll talk a little bit about Civilian Extraction mode a little bit later on within this video. So starting off with Infection, guys, first thing you want to know about this is the actual map. So looking at the map, guys, you can see it's basically set within Burger Town, part of the whole Modern Warfare series. So it's going to be pretty awesome. The map looks kind of like medium to large. I mean, from the image you can't really tell, it kind of looks kind of small, but I reckon it's going to be medium to large size map. It does actually say there's going to be new traps as well, so it's not going to be just one trap, because if it would have been one trap they would have said new trap rather than new traps. So I reckon moving on to the actual traps, guys, I reckon there's going to be like for at least 3 traps. There's definitely going to be at least 2 traps anyway, so this might be up to 3 traps now. Talking a little bit about the traps, I reckon the traps are going to be based off one. The first trap, I reckon it's going to be like an acid trap, and this is just my opinion, where the zombies will probably walk underneath and it will drop acid. Maybe the second trap will be some kind of spikes where a door closes and it's got spikes on it, and that actually comes into the zombies and kills them. The third trap, I was thinking it was probably more along the lines of a big hole in the ground. I know it sounds finger a big hole, but kind of like where zombies will just like accidentally fall into this hole, or you'll press a button where the door will open up on the ground or something, or a hole will open up and the zombies will just drop in. So that's basically where I thought about the actual traps, guys. Now moving on to the actual Easter eggs, I know there's going to be Easter eggs within this map because we know that there was an Easter egg within the first map. Now I'm hoping there's going to be at least 2 Easter eggs within this map. We know the first Easter egg is going to be the main Easter egg, which is going to be where you have to do a load of different tasks to actually complete before you can actually complete the Easter egg. I reckon the second Easter egg is probably going to be a little, like a small little funny Easter egg, and when I'm bringing out this, I'm thinking because of Modern Warfare, and I know they've bought Burger Town and we know that's like a kind of joke, I think they're going to bring that joke into this as well. I'm not sure if you guys think I'm going to be right about this, but I reckon it's going to be similar to where the effect is if you go to Extinction and you had to shoot the signs, and out came these little alien. When you shoot the zombies after you shot the sign, it come and you shoot the zombies, what happens is they turn into little gold aliens. And I reckon it's going to be the same as this, where you shoot the sign in Burger Town, you might have to shoot a sign or shoot some kind of thing, and what will happen is when you shoot the zombies after that for about a minute or 2, maybe they will turn into burgers. So that's kind of my little joke about this. I reckon that's probably what's going to happen within this mode. So that's actually the Easter egg card covered. Now moving on to the actual zombies, guys, there's actually going to be a few different types of zombies. I know one of the zombies, as you can see on screen right now, is called the giant Goliath ecto zombie. Now he looks absolutely mean. He looks really scary. He's got a big turret on his back, which is going to shoot you as well. So you imagine you running from that, and then you got this big turret shooting bullets at you. Now that is going to be you're going to be constantly running, constantly moving, and you're going to be trying to get out of his way and trying to kill him as well. So I reckon what he's going to be like, he's probably going to be like the Panzer. He's going to be kind of slow, which I reckon. Now, he looks kind of like he's going to be a big slow boss because he's massive, he's big, he's not going to want to run faster, he's going to be slow. I reckon he's probably going to spawn in on round 10, I believe, because in round 10, just like in the first DLC, we had the infected zombies, and these zombies came in on round 10. They was running after you really fast. As soon as they hit you, you would turn into, you'll get infected, and then you'd have to get rid of that infection, and then you come back and try and kill them. So I don't really like those kind of zombies in the first DLC where they actually chased after, because one, was too fast. It wasn't the fact that I didn't like them because they actually turned you infected. I just didn't like the fact that they would run after you so fast, and every single second you'd literally be infected and you couldn't get away from the actual zombies. So that's what I didn't like. But with this big boss zombie, I reckon it's going to be similar to where the Panzer, like I said, is. He looks like he's wearing the same similar armor as the Panzer. The only difference is you can see his face more, whereas the Panzer was fully covered up. I think what he's going to do is, I reckon when you're in sight of him, he's going to suddenly stop. I reckon he's going to use his turret. He's going to shoot you with his turret, and then if you move around a corner or go around a bend, he's going to run after you. And that's what I reckon he's going to be, guys. Moving on to the other type of zombies, there's actually a spike zombie. We all know by looking at this image here, you can see they're going to be a spike zombie, and the spike zombie is going to be like where you've got, like, he might be one of two things. Maybe you'll have spikes automatically out of him, or maybe when you get close to him, his spikes will suddenly come out and zap you and stick into you, and then obviously start killing you. Maybe that will probably be it. There's also the final zombie that I know. Maybe there'll be others, I don't know, but there's another zombie called the dripping zombie, EXO's dripping zombie. I'm not sure if that's the actual fully name for it. That's the name that I've managed to come up with. I'm not sure if that is actually the name. Maybe you guys can tell me the name of it. But basically this zombie is where it's going to drip acid, and it's going to probably either drip acid, or it might end up shooting acid, just like an Extinction where you had the scorpions and they shot out acid at you, and then obviously when the acid got on you, you would slowly die from it. Maybe this is going to be the same thing where the zombies will shoot acid or drop acid, and then when you walk into it or maybe walk past it or whatever, you'll start dying as well. So that's the actual zombie side covered. Now moving on to the actual modes, guys. I've talked a little bit about the first mode, that it's going to be a big medium sized map bobbler and all that, but now moving on to the actual mode, there's a new mode called the civilian extraction mode. Now this basically, within the name, you can tell you're going to be extracting civilians from one area from A to B. And I reckon it's going to be where it's going to be like Extinction, where you had like the alien hives and you had to protect the hive from the actual aliens until the hive actually is fully destroyed and the aliens are trying to stop you. Maybe that's probably what's going to happen, guys, with this, where you have to probably protect the civilians from the zombies, and if the civilian dies, it fails. If once you got to a certain timer goes down, maybe there's going to be a timer, and the timer gets down to to 0, that you successfully completed that kind of section, and then you move on to the next section. And that's probably what I reckon it's going to be. There might be a helicopter might come and pick up the civilians and drop them off, but yeah, I reckon you're going to have to protect the civilians from hordes of zombies. There's going to be loads of zombies coming. It's going to start off with a few zombies and then end up with a load more zombies. Now that's what I reckon it's going to be with that. I also reckon it might be where you might have like 3 areas, like Extinction, where you had like first area, second area, third area, where you might have to completely protect all the civilians in the first area. Once that's done, then you'll be for a boss zombie, which might be the EXO giant Goliath zombie, and then you move on to the next section and the third section. Now moving on to the actual last thing I want to talk to you guys, I want to talk to you a little bit more about the actual guns. Now there's actually going to be new guns within this mode. The first gun is called the Magneton microwave gun, which is kind of a mouthful, and I reckon it's gonna be like a power gun, kind of like the paralyzer. You're gonna have to probably get it. Maybe you'd have to do something to actually get it. It's gonna be an awesome gun, guys. I reckon it's gonna be really good. It looks powerful, and it's probably gonna be used for new enemies to fight. So now looking on this actual screen right now, guys, you can actually see there's actually a new gun being released. Now this new gun kind of looks like a Cobra, kind of like a Western Cobra, maybe a double barrel shotgun. I really don't know. It was a teaser new weapon basically by Michael Conrad, and if you want to know more about the information about this gun, go and look up on the link. I will post the link in the description below, guys. And finally, tell me what you think about this commentary below, guys. Tell me also what you think about the new zombies modes in the description below. And like always, guys, it has been ChadderMan, and I'm out. Peace.